Welcome back to the farm, everybody. It's almost 6 a.m. and it's already 72 degrees and I'm already starting my daily sweat. But at least I got these chickens moved to some fresh pasture. I've been moving these chickens every 3 days so that they follow my cattle. And the job of the chickens is really twofold. One, they help by producing eggs. Well, actually that guy who's a rooster doesn't produce eggs, but these gals produce eggs for us and we eat them and we sell them. But then two, and you can already see that they've started their work, they go through and they break up the cow pies. And that does two things. One, it helps spread manure. And so they go through those cow pies, and the reason they like them is because they want to eat the fly larva that's in there. So the flies love to spawn in the cow pies, and that's where a good chunk of our fly population comes from. But with the chickens doing their work, they're actually reducing the number of flies that we have here on the farm, which is super helpful. I mean, yes, I do also feed them regular food, but they're also helping control the flies. I try to avoid as much as I can using any sort of chemicals to control flies on the farm, and prefer to do this plus a combination of moving my cattle on a multi-times a day basis, as well as the fact is I set out a lot of these fly traps. And so these are basically just garbage cans with fly paper stuck to them. And so I just buy the extra large rolls of fly paper and I'll set them out once a day. And the fly paper will catch the flies, and by trapping the flies, it also reduces the number of flies that are bugging my cattle. And at least what I find around here in Vermont is the hotter it gets, the more flies we get. And we have had a very hot and very humid and wet summer. I mean, like, I think part of why I'm so sweaty and so hot right now, even though it's just in the 70s, because I think the humidity is, it's like 60. What is our humidity right now? Yeah, our current humidity is like 85% right now, which is kind of ridiculous and gross. And I'm just not built for this weather.
I just don't think at this age I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life.
And this is the kind of weather that attracts the most flies. So we're gonna be doing some more fly trapping. Since I got my cattle so close to my chickens right now, might as well use my chicken coop as a little bit of an extra fly trap. I have this leftover fly paper that's not enough for one of the trash cans. It'll work just fine here. Watch, by the time I'm done doing my cow chores, you're gonna see a whole bunch of flies stuck to just this very thing. In fact, why don't we set up a camera and we can watch it happen. What do you think, baby bee? Are these fly traps working? You actually only have a couple flies on you, so I would say that's a yes. You're not gonna get 0 flies with this type of trapping, but you are going to get a lot less. And makes a huge difference for the health and welfare of your animals. So I'm a huge fan of these. Again, I just get the extra large fly paper rolls. And so to replace these, oof. Actually, the craziest part about this is, and I'm not even sure if you can hear this, here, I'm gonna put my microphone really close to it. You can hear all the buzzing. They're very not happy about it. Excuse me, flies, do you have anything to say about this? Any comment? Being stuck to a glue trap is a horrible way to die, but I don't know. You guys are pretty awful, and this is like by far the best way to control the flies. And then sticking these back on are super, super easy. So I usually tack it and just roll it around to cover as much surface area as you can. And then I typically will leave them very close to our water troughs, because I think one, it's where the cattle consistently congregate, but then also two, I think the dark color of the water trough attracts the flies, which helps attract the flies to the fly trap. So I don't know, it just seems to work. If a smarter person than myself has a more scientific explanation, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Yeah. Now, I used to feed these fly papers to the chickens, but I just kept having problems where the chickens would occasionally get stuck to the paper, and then I was having to run around and chase chickens and get fly paper off of them, which is always kind of a miserable experience. And so I just find that the juice is not worth the squeeze on that one. I just collect these fly papers and then I usually throw them out. Now, this method will definitely work. The one thing to keep in mind though is you got to keep on top of it, and if you have like a really bad fly infestation right at this minute, it will take probably about 7 to 10 days for you to notice less flies harassing your cattle. It comes down to you have to break up the fly cycle in terms of their breeding cycle. And yeah, I don't know, my experience is that's about 7 to 10 days. But again, that's not necessarily scientifically based. That's just, you know, my personal practical experience. Girls, come on, girls, fresh grass, come on, girls, let's go, come and get it, fresh breakfast, served daily, let's go, come on, Belinda, you ready? You're becoming the bossiest cow, that's for sure, come on, Belinda, hey, it's Macho Man, and our other boss cow, Audrey, come on, guys, let's go, head on in, you got this, let's go, come on. Come on, baby bee. Let's go. Come on. In case anybody's wondering how Annabelle's doing, so Annabelle is the cow who lost her calf the other week. She's doing okay. Her milk levels have dropped way down. She doesn't have any risk of mastitis or any problems like that, it seems like, so she's gonna be fine. She is a little sad. But as it goes with sad things, life kind of continues onward. And, you know, you just keep doing what you're doing. By the way, I did want to say thank you for all the kind words everybody said on that video that I made talking about the situation. And I appreciate your thoughts, and I appreciate you guys. So many of you have such great hearts. It really makes me happy to know that you're the folks who are watching the videos here. So thank you. So just in the span of the 10 minutes it took me to move the cattle, let's check in to see how many flies we've caught. Holy smokes, there's a bunch of them. Like, yeah, you can see, I mean, so these are like one of the drawings on the fly paper. But here we go. We've got, I don't know, probably between these two, at least 50 flies that we've just caught. Which is kind of funny. I mean, again, breaking up the fly cycle and avoiding having large populations of flies is the goal. You're never going to totally eradicate flies, and the weather will play a role, and hot, wet weather like we're having right now definitely brings out more flies in my experience. Trapping helps your creatures, so don't be afraid to do this. And I mean, it's wicked easy and cheap to pull something like this off too. So yeah, I've made a lot of videos testing out like all the methods of fly trapping over the years. And in my opinion, this is the best. I don't know, if I was gonna improve anything, I've experimented with different like ways to hold the fly paper, but I often have problems with the cattle getting mixed up with the fly paper or getting knocked over, or like the wind taking it. And so the trash barrel method gives you a lot of surface area. It's super easy to change because you got to change it every couple of days. And so this is my favorite approach. And in terms of even that quick fly paper trap that I stuck to the chicken mobile here, yeah, even this is working too. And I already grabbed most of the eggs this morning. Doesn't look like anybody's laid anything just yet. It's always important to grab the eggs before you move the chicken mobile, or else you could quite literally end up with egg on your face. Morning, birds. How's everybody doing? This is Honky Kong right here. He was like the first gosling to hatch this hatching season. You can see him right now. He's a monster. He's the biggest of the goslings by far. Hi, Abby dog. How are you doing? Yeah, how are you, girl? Hi. Hey, Toby dog. You were just napping. I saw you. I know, it's the dog days of summer here. Hi. Hi, dogs. Hi. And you can see we got all our baby ducks running around. They're no longer babies, really. And we've got some very interesting looking ducks too. I don't know if you guys have noticed, like most of them are actually in the sanctuary. But let me turn your attention to a few of the more interesting ones. Like, would you look at this one right here? Like, I don't know what his parentage is or her parentage is, but they're looking pretty interesting. Same thing with this one. Got another one that looks super interesting with that white and black coloring. I don't know, I really like those ducks. I'm gonna definitely wanna try to keep them around. Oh, actually, if you guys remember Brussels and Sprout, there's Brussels with the white neck and the black body right there. But yeah, they're basically free range birds entirely at this point. just kind of running around doing their thing. Abby has been very, very good with the adult birds, so this is very much a positive. I don't know if you saw that, but those little ducks just squirted through the safe area. I'm gonna probably start taking this area apart in the next 2 weeks or so, because I'm gonna be building a new goat yard for this coming winter, which is actually gonna go right here where the water infrastructure is. The plan is this is gonna become like the goat playground, and there's gonna be like a little goat house. And I've even got it set up where I've run a camera underground so we can watch goat activity 24/7 if we want to. And so all that is gonna be going right here in this area, including these rocks are gonna be fenced in as part of their habitat. We'll visit with the goats in just a little bit, but actually first I wanna do the other chores because they make it very difficult to do chores in the morning if they're running free. So I always save them until the end. Release the clucking! And yeah, Abby Dog likes to guard her baby chickens, although I will admit she still seems way too playful for a 4-year-old dog around chickens the way she gets, particularly the babies. Like, she's pretty good with the adults, but I don't know. Every so often she gets mischief with the little ones. But I will say the baby chickens are doing pretty good. You might notice that there are 2 chickens in here that are significantly larger than the others. So this white, I think soon to be rooster that you see right here eating that green, he's one. And then there's actually a barred rock looking one that's somewhere out here too. I think she's inside. So what happened is I have this mama hen who hatched out some baby chicks, gosh, probably almost 5-6 weeks ago. And so 2 of her babies got trapped in there. I've tried to get them out, but every time I try to get them out, they make a big fuss and they hide from me and it creates chaos with all the other birds. And so I just kind of have left them in there. For the females, they're all going to be part of one big flock anyway come next year. So the sooner they get integrated, honestly, the easier it is for me. So I'm not sweating it too much. But the mama hen, I don't know, I'm looking for her and her other little ones because she hatched out a bunch, like I think 10 of them. 9 of them survived. I'm trying to see where they are. They're around here. They live inside the old quack house right now. I don't know. They like to hide along these tall grasses and weeds. Gives them nice cover, lots of bugs to eat, a ton of snails. It is chicken habitat magnifique. It's also very much goose habitat magnifique. Like, I just love seeing these guys out here doing their free ranging thing. Like, they're growing up so big. They're getting nice and healthy. It's all very, very exciting. You know, the other thing to note, as we're talking chickens here, there's one chick who's a lot smaller than the others. I'm trying to see if I can spot her. So I don't think I talked about this in a video, but I know I covered it on the Twitch live stream because it all sort of happened right in front of me. The weird chickens hatched out 3 little chicks. Unfortunately, of those 3 little chicks, 2 of them died really quickly within the first 2 or 3 days. And so I took the 3rd one away from the weird chickens, even though they usually are good moms, and I decided to mix them in here with these guys. I'm raising it up with these guys, but eventually when it gets big enough, I'll put it back in with the adult weird chickens. Like, if you look at it, right, it's smaller than everybody else. It's got a little bit of fluffy feet. It's got big, big eyes, and yeah, it's gonna be an adorable, interesting, weird chicken. It is half silky, half cochin. So it should be a little bit bigger and hardier than the weird chicken, but I'm hoping it still looks kind of weird like a weird chicken. So we'll see how it develops. I will probably end up putting it in with the weird chicken group once it fully feathers out. But for right now, this is the best place with these other chicks for it to grow up and, you know, not run any risks of problems. As far as the other weird chickens go, they're doing good. There's Carmen, the weird chicken. So she's actually the mother of that little one that I just showed you. Here you go. She's been sitting on a nest. She like just poked her head out apparently. That chick, or chicken right there, that weird chicken back there, she's the one who actually hatched out the 3 little ones that didn't make it. Carmen is usually a tremendous mother, and so if she hatches out her eggs, which I know she's sitting on inside there, I think Deb's sitting on some inside there as well. You know, when those hatch out, we'll definitely have more baby weird chickens running around here this summer. All right, Toby, you ready for your schvitz? For some reason, Toby is like, he just loves coming in here just for a little bit each morning when I check on the pumpkins and water them and take care of them. It's like Toby's favorite place, and yes, he has to always pee on my pumpkin plants, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. I think one thing that's worth noting though with my pumpkins, we actually have our very first pumpkin starting to go right here. So one day this will be a giant. Not yet, but one day. I think I have another pumpkin plant forming just right here. Yeah. So this one is about to form. So they're slowly but surely starting to come in. So one thing though that I have noticed is I've been getting a lot of squash beetles this year, way more than I usually get in my pumpkin crops. And so every time I come out here, usually looking for them, and actually less for them and more for their eggs, because it's easier to prevent them if I can find the eggs. But they're the ones doing a lot of the damage to these plants. And so I'm just coming through and picking off the eggs as I see them. Nope, no eggs on this one. I'm finding that these guys need a lot of water, particularly on hot days like today. So I'm out here visiting these pumpkin plants pretty regularly. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but right here. Oh, Abby, don't step on my plant, please. Please, Abby. You can actually see them right here. There's some squash beetles. See, so those are what the eggs look like. I think they look like little copper balls. To help deal with them, typically what I do, I find this is the easiest way to do this. I'll just come through with like a little piece of duct tape and I can just pick them right off. Boom. Not going to eradicate them, but it's going to help keep the numbers down, which are going to help keep my plants healthier. And so, yeah, just come out here and check. Then if I need to, I can catch them. Some more right up here. So you can see this is the beetle eggs on just one plant that I pulled off. I've been trying to do this every time I water, and I think it's helping. Hope it's helping. Ooh. All right, I want to show you guys something right here. So you can see the mature bugs, or not mature, but hatched bugs, like right here. Here's some more down here. I want to take care of this leaf real quick. The way I deal with those guys is the same way I deal with the eggs. I just catch them all like they're Pokemon. Get out of here, Squirtle. Yeah, see, I didn't do this yesterday. You can see they're already getting bad. Again, this is all just one plant. Not that different than the fly paper I use, if you think about it. Toby Dog moves from his spot over here to over here. You know it's way too hot and it's time to end the schvitz. So come on, guys, let's go. They're always so excited to come in and they're always so excited to leave. But yes, that was this morning's pumpkin time. I can't wait to see when we ultimately get some giant pumpkins. All right, dogs, we've almost completed this run of morning shore time. I think the last thing we're gonna have to do is go let out our friends, the gotois. Oh, actually, hey, you can see her there. So that gray duck that my finger's on right there, her name is Baker. She's the one who hatched out most of the ducklings we have on our farm now. She's doing really good. Oh, there's Bean, our blind duck too. Abby likes to actually be very protective of Bean, which is a good thing. You guys look at all those birds on top of the clucky ball. If you guys know what these are, leave your answer down in the comments. I will leave the actual answer down in the comments too. But you'll have to scroll to find my answer. Good morning, boys. Come on out. Time to greet the day. How's my Larny? How's my Barney? How's my Telly? You guys doing good? Abby, you wanna go be goat boss? Go be goat boss, come on. The goats always come out here each morning and inspect to see that all the bird feed has been eaten from the previous evening. They're always very disappointed about that. They usually get up to their usual goat antics. It's kind of ridiculous, but I do very much love them, and so I'm glad to have them. I'm excited to build this goat yard. I don't know, I might even build this goat yard big enough so that I have enough space that I could maybe add a couple of more goats. Not a lot more goats, but like a couple is something I'm seriously contemplating right this moment.